Sometimes you find a game that just cleanses your soul or fixes a small part of you. Once the end credits roll, these games leave you feeling either really good or that you need to start doing more in your life to help improve that part of you. These games are cheap and enjoyable therapy. We've put together 10 games that we think do just that. So enough small talk, let's get into it. The first game is GRIS, a side-scrolling platformer that deals with grief through visual metaphors instead of direct dialogue, which makes it surprisingly effective at creating emotional space without pressure. The game begins in muted grayscale, and as you progress, the color returns, each representing an emotional stage from denial to acceptance. That simple visual progression paired with fluid movement and puzzle solving gives you a constant feeling of a forward motion without anxiety or time constraints. You're not punished for taking your time or for simply stopping to observe the environment. The level design flows in a way that gently nudges you along, but never forces momentum. It respects your pace, which makes it feel more like reflection than challenge. The hand-drawn art style is not just beautiful, it's intentionally calming. The watercolor-inspired style doesn't scream for attention, it invites it. The soundtrack is a beautiful complement to the art style, reinforcing the tone of each color with ambient piano and string arrangements that react to your movement, encouraging immersion rather than distraction. Moments of silence aren't empty, they're just pauses that give you space to breathe. GRIS encourages you to keep moving, but it doesn't rush you. That balance between motion and stillness is what makes it therapeutic, because it lets you feel everything without overwhelming you. It's available on all platforms, including mobile. In at number 2, Journey is a wordless exploration through shifting sandscapes, broken ruins, and soaring peaks, designed to evoke emotion without demanding skill. You move through the world with simple mechanics, walking, sliding, and gliding, while the camera frames each environment like a painting. That minimalism in control and presentation strips away pressure and makes the act of moving feel meditative. You're never told what to do, and there's no HUD or dialogue. The game encourages curiosity through light cues and visual rhythm, so progress feels organic. The transitions between scenes flow like chapters, letting each new environment breathe at its own pace. It has a beautiful soundtrack that is one of my favorites, composed by Austin Wintory, that adapts to your movement and scale, layering cello and winds that build emotional weight without overwhelming you. It complements the silence. One of the most distinctive elements is the anonymous co-op. You might encounter another player, but there's no voice chat or usernames, only wordless gestures. That design removes social pressure and creates rare, quiet moments of cooperation that feel personal without expectation. You're not scored or ranked, just exist in the same space. Journey feels therapeutic not because it numbs emotion, but because it gives you space to process through beauty, movement, and shared presence. It's available on PlayStation, PC, and iOS. At number 3 is Night in the Woods, a game that will help you reset because the game builds a calm, repeatable rhythm. Mornings start in May's bedroom, then you wander Possum Springs at your own pace, checking in on the diner, the snack falcon, the church steps, and the tracks above town. That loop turns small choices, who to visit, which roof to climb, which song to play, into gentle goals that steady your head. Conversations work like pressure valves. Talking to the different characters lets you try honest lines without fear of failing to get a right answer. The replies land with pauses, eye blinks, and subtle animations that feel human. So hard topics like panic, money, stress, and family strain come across as shared weight instead of tests. The dream sequences shift you into light platforming with musical beacons. You follow sound, light up musicians, and close the night with a soft cadence that tells your brain it's okay to wind down. No timers, no fail screens, and if you miss a jump, you try again and keep moving. The autumn tones, creaking signs, and warm windows make the town feel held together. By repeating the day, wake, walk, talk, and doing something small, you practice a routine that carries past the credits. Night in the Woods is available on all platforms, including mobile. At number 4 is Spiritfarer. You set sail on a steady rhythm. You chart a route, watch the sun slide across the sky, and feel the day ease forward without pressure. Building your ship into a small neighborhood turns chores into care. Plant, water, cook, craft, and then step back to see a tidier, warmer deck than you had an hour ago. The spirits ask for simple human things. Favorite meals, a room that feels like home, a short talk on the bow at night. Meeting those needs teaches you pacing. You move when they're ready, not when a quest log shouts. Hugs are not a quick time event, they're a pause that grounds both of you. There's no real fail state. If you burn food or miss a stop, you try again on the next loop. That soft forgiveness keeps your mind clear enough to listen when a spirit opens up about regret, illness, or fear. The conversations land because you've shared small routines first. Again, the music and animation do quiet work in the background so the deck never feels empty. When you finally guide a friend to the Everdoor, the game gives you time to sit with the moment. Grief is not fixed here, it's witnessed, honoured, and carried forward on the next sale. Spiritfarer is available on all platforms, mobile and Game Pass. The next game is starting to become a regular feature on the channel. At number 5, it is It Takes Two, and it's designed to sit shoulder to shoulder, sharing laugh-driven moments and building trust through wild mechanics. Each level flips the rules. 1 minute you're a mini golf club, and the next you're rewinding time, or throwing a hammer across the screen together. Those twists don't distract, they force you and your partner to listen, communicate, decide, and adapt as a team. You become Cody and May that have been turned into dolls trying to mend their marriage, and you feel that repair in your own relationship because the game demands cooperation. The challenges aren't solo tasks, they're two-player puzzles. You learn to let the other take the lead, then let them follow yours. That back and forth builds a quiet sense of alignment. You don't just finish a level, you finish it together. The frantic button mashing moments give way to slower beats where you talk, swap ideas, joke, maybe disagree, and then laugh again. The emotional core isn't heavy-handed, it's earned through motion and teamwork. When the final curtain lifts and Cody and May reach their daughter, you don't feel triumph in the usual way, you feel reset. The game doesn't end with fireworks, it ends with resolution. You close it and carry forward something, not just a story completed, but a shared journey that reminded you collaboration matters. That return to trust and connection is what turns the game into something therapeutic. It Takes Two is available on all platforms, and only one of you needs the game since it has Friend Pass. Just quickly before the next game, if you're enjoying the video, please smash like and subscribe. It allows us to keep finding new games for you to play, and leave a comment on a topic of games that you want us to find. Number 6 is Celeste, that turns a tough platformer into a steady breathing exercise. The mountain gives clear screen-by-screen goals, instant restarts, and short checkpoints, so failure becomes feedback instead of a setback. The loop teaches a calm rhythm. Look, plan, try, adjust, and try again. The controls are simple. You can jump, climb, and dash, but when a room clicks after 10 tries, the wind releases tension you didn't notice you were holding. The game never wastes your time, it respects focus and rewards patience. There's also an assist mode that lets you tune down the stress without killing the climb. You can slow game speed, add dashes, grant infinite stamina, or even toggle invincibility when you need a breather. Skipping a chapter stays on the table if a wall won't budge. The control sits with you, which lowers anxiety before it starts. The story mirrors that practice. Panic peaks in the gondola scene, then a further breathing exercise pulls the world back into focus. Later progress arrives when you accept the part of yourself that fights you and the climb opens up. The music lifts and settles with your pace, so even hard rooms land like challenges you chose, not demands the game forced on you. Celeste is also considered one of the best indie games of all time, so if you haven't tried it already, you can try it on PC or all consoles. In at number 7 we have Sea of Solitude. It's a short game that covers some really heavy topics. You steer a small boat through a flooded city, then step onto rooftops to solve light platforming and simple puzzles. A flare marks the path, so the world nudges you forward without a checklist shouting in your ear. When the sea monster snaps you up, the game resets nearby, which keeps tension focused but never punishing. The city mirrors mood in ways you can feel. Storms roll in when anxiety spikes, sun breaks through after you clear corruption. That cause and effect turns heavy feelings into something you can act on. Reach a beacon, calm the water, and breathe. Encounters with the monsters work like guided conversations about bullying, divorce, and depression, and the solutions are practical. Move closer, shine light, create safe ground. The music and sound design leave room for thought. Swells rise as you find a new route. Wind and water soften as danger fades. The visuals use bold silhouettes and color to frame each step, so the act of moving becomes focused practice. By the time city opens and the water settles, your hands know the rhythm, and your head feels lighter than when you started. Sea of Solitude is available on PC and all consoles. The 8th game is Abzu, which has the same art director as Journey, Pathless, and Sword of the Sea, but also developed by the same team as the last two mentioned. Abzu settles your mind by turning movement into a calm loop. Dive, glide, pause, and watch the water breathe. The game removes panic. There's no oxygen meter, no real fail state, so attention shifts from survival to curiosity. You follow currents, ride with mantas, and drift through towers of fish that part as you pass, which makes progress feel like floating instead of grinding. The short goals keep the pace gentle. You wake ancient machines, free schools from nets, and restore light to dark caverns, then surface into open blue where the music loosens your shoulders. You can sit at meditation statues and observe the sea life, scan a shark up close, or hitch a ride on a turtle just to feel the inertia. Mines crackle and sharks lunge, yet the game lets you settle and continue. By the final ascent, your hands have learned the rhythm. Look, glide, and rise, and the water carries the rest. Austin Wintory did another fantastic job with Abzu, and it's available on PC and all consoles. Our penultimate game is Minecraft, which I'll keep brief as everyone already knows it so well, but loading into a world and just setting off to do whatever goal you've set yourself while listening to one of the most calming and chilled soundtracks is something else. It feels so relaxing and peaceful, with the option to ramp things up by taking on other challenges if you want, and then getting back to peaceful crafting. On top of that, you can set up a multiplayer world so you can play with friends and just yap about whatever is going on. I know all of you at some point have gotten into a deep conversation that you're just jumping around your house and not doing anything else. It's an amazing form of therapy, and the 2-week Minecraft phase is some of the best times, especially with friends. There's a reason why Minecraft is the most sold game and loved by so many, because it's just so good and therapeutic. Our final game is Kind Words, lo-fi chill beats to write to. It has a really interesting gameplay. It opens up a safe space by giving you a private room, a desk, and a lo-fi beat playing in the background while you quietly write what's on your mind or respond to someone else's. You pick a sticker, write a short letter, then send it out. Later, you'll receive one from another player. There's no pressure to say the right thing, just keep the loop of empathy going. The anonymity removes performance stress, which means you can share worries like "I'm exhausted" or "I feel unseen" without fear of judgment. While you wait for replies, you explore a little room, place stickers on walls, listen to music, and feel the time slowing down. The system encourages patience and reflection instead of urgency. When a letter arrives, it arrives like a quiet tap on the shoulder. Someone noticed. That feeling changes your posture. You lean forward, read carefully, and sometimes type back. The mechanical act of writing becomes emotional unburdening, allowing you to clear your mind. A common theme across all of these games is that it has a great soundtrack to listen to while you write. The loop, the validating exchange, is what turns a simple game into something quietly therapeutic. Kind Words is only available on PC.